I want to save my gems in case I get a particularly rare room. So, the maid's quarters. I can build a dead end off this though, and so I'm going to take the guest bedroom out of running here. Of course, there's nothing in it. I'm less likely to find items. And now all that I'm left with is the passageway. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot I had that. The drafting studio. Not just because it's a dead end, but also because I need a new room. Like, interesting. The Dovecote? What? A towering loft serving home to many of the feathered locals of Mount Holly. As a devout birdwatcher and amateur ornithologist, Mary had petitioned her uncle for years for this to be built on the estate. Whenever I draw a dovecote while drafting, I may rotate floor plans. What does that mean? Does that mean I can... The casino... It's got games of chance. A buy-in of 2 gems is required for admittance into this. Oh, because it costs 2 gems. Much strategy involved with the games featured here. And I remember the dormitory. But I'm taking the Dovecote. And there's the answer to the Great Room. Great Hall. Yeah, none of the doors on the sides really do much this go around, do they? I've got the lockpick. Maybe I can make some use out of the locker room. Is there an item in here? There's money and a key. Can't afford the foyer, but I need gems. So I'll take the boudoir. What if it's that? 1006. Ugh. Forget it. I'd have to find out what that thing about the gates means. Alright, back to the pool. Wait a minute. Another key. I thought that was just the cash in the bottom of the pool that it was picking up, but no. Hello. The Dovecote is right here. Let's see what this does. Ah. I don't think I have room for the library after the reading nook, so I'm gonna draft the Dovecote just to see what it is. What am I picking up? Oh, there's a coin in here. And another coin in there. And this thing, what is it? Wait a minute. Dates. But, dear Mother, if you are reading this, that means Junie made it home safely. I imagine he's going to be quite tired after such a long flight, so make sure he gets some treats and rest. School is going well, though I do miss you terribly. Unfortunately, even though the dean gave me permission to keep my birds here on campus, I'm afraid it's getting a bit too cold for them as the semester marches on, so I've made the decision to send them all home before the winter months arrive. All that to say, expect some more letters soon. Dotingly, Samantha, I mean Mary. Dearest Mother, this should be the 5th letter you've received from me this month, though I know statistically it is very unlikely that every single member of my flock has found their way home. And please, please don't tell me if they didn't arrive. It's going to be hard enough now that I am truly on my own. In other news, my classes have been engaging and I am slowly making friends, so please ignore the dramatic despair of my previous letter. What previous letter? Things are indeed looking brighter, but I still maintain that 3 years is too long a time to be away from home. Yeah, and this one's to Herbert. Thank you so much for your gift of the wedding doves, whom I, of course, recognized immediately. And yes, I got the hint. So here's your letter. I know it's long, long overdue. The Mayhew, suits me. The Mayhew life? Suits me, I think. Not that I didn't love Mount Holly, of course, but after years of being confined in a tiny dormitory, the small place Daniel and I have picked out in Reddington feels more like a stately manor. Once we've finished unpacking and setting everything up, I'll insist on you making an exception to your reclusive lifestyle to come, share a meal, and admire a somewhat less impressive but much more personal view of the town. Thanks again for the card, Mary. We are returning east and should arrive on Tuesday. If the coast is not clear, lower the FD 8D to warn us. What did I say again? Oh yeah. If the coast is not clear, that might have been related to her life as Samantha Hayes rather than Marion Marigold. Or Mary Sinclair. I think that's her last name. Okay, well that's about it for this room. I'll put the hallway here. It doesn't cost as much. And there it is, the foundation. There were 3 dig spots. I don't know, maybe it changes. I'll put the West Wing Hall here. I can't afford the veranda, but the corridor is always left unlocked. Well, I think you can afford the chapel. I'll take it out of the running anyway. Wait a minute. The chapel has those candlesticks. I was told to watch out for. I can't pick this one either. Ah, so the library is here, is available anyway. Nook or no Nook? There's a coupon book. So I'm going to request that clue, because I want to examine that one page more closely. But I'm going to go back to the conference room. Maybe I'll get some buffs out of this. I'll take that. And that. And since I have the running shoes, maybe I can afford that trip down to the entrance hall. That's the conference room, the pool. Drifting studio passageway. It's the other way. Yeah, there we go. Back to. Back to the entrance hall. Oh, thank goodness. So I'll go back to the conference room. I think all these rooms, or at least all the options I have are relatively close to each other. Don't have the security. Maybe I ought to re-roll. Just for the sake of... I'll take the billiard room. It has items. And food, apparently. Okay, 17. 20 plus 3 is 23, minus 13 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20, divided by 4 is 5. 6, 8. The square of 8 is 64, minus 4 is 60, divided by 6 is 10. 100 minus 20 is 80. Times 2 is 160, divided by 16 is 10. I used to play 24. I know how to do math in my head pretty well. Anyone ever play that game? Well, the dining room has more options, plus I'm already at the 8th rank, so... Here we go. I don't have a boiler room, but I do have some running shoes. Good old country stew pie. I wonder if I can cook this stuff in real life. Oh wow, I can actually, I so wanted, I wanted the servants' quarters, but I needed gems. I mean, I've never drafted the servants' quarters before. Here we are, rank 9, staring at the antechamber. Of course, if I did get in, there's still that one door that I can't open. I can't afford the courtyard. Tell you what, why don't I re-roll? Alright, I'll put the bunk room in here. That was a surprisingly good decision. Yeah, I've got so many steps I can tap dance. Let's see, where'd I go? I think the only shop I have is a commissary. Is it flat out impossible to change, to pick a lock above a certain rank? Apparently not. Let me redraw. Now that I've got all this money, I'd like to be able to buy something with it. Or, failing that, I'd like to be able to, I'd like to be able to freeze my assets. Well, wish granted, I suppose. I wanted the servants' quarters. All of these keys. It's a bit late in the day for that kind of thing, though. There are 12 major keys. Wait a second. That's one of those green statements. And they're always false. There's probably more than 12, like 13 major keys. So, what's this say? Hardly, I know we spoke often of this day, and I don't think there's anything I can say of the past 40 years that I haven't already attempted to tell you numerous times in the past. Half-stated gratitude is always interrupted with tactful and polite repudiations from you. I had always known this final letter would give me the perfect opportunity to finally express myself, uninterrupted by you and unfettered by social graces, but I don't feel the inclination to say aloud what has always been unsaid between us. With my passing, I release you from your post in service to the Sinclair family and implore you to live the remainder of your years on your own terms, as scary and unfamiliar of a concept as that might be to you. Besides, I think a more junior valet would be better situated to meet the needs of young Master Simon. To that end, if you wish, you may stay long enough to oversee the training and establishment of your successor in their post, but as soon as he or she has the lay of the land, my instructions for you to quit must be satisfied. Ignoring what I imagine your objections might be after reading this, I have decided to leave the lake house in Trinsdale to you and your family. My lawyers have all the details of the gift and will be contacting you shortly about the particulars. For the past 4 decades, you have served willingly as the subject and victim to my many whims, games, and riddles. So rest assured, unlike my nephew, you will not be put to yet another challenge to prove yourself worthy in this matter. The house is yours without strings or stipulations. I had for a time gleefully entertained the notion of employing Anne as the house manager of your new residence, but I knew the humor of such a prank would be entirely lost on you, to say nothing of her. Until we meet again, my friend, signed Herbert. That would be my uncle. Okay, so I'm out of options. I'm also out of spaces. But there's a couple of things I'd like to check out first. I shut the lights off in the gymnasium, so I don't lose steps there. Now the commissary is this way. Oh boy, if I only had that book. There's another thing I want to check. And it's all the way down here. I can't use the lockpick. I don't have the secret card and key. He obviously isn't it, but, yeah, that's nothing. Alright. Well, in that case, I'm calling it here. This has been a really eventful day.